You know, it's funny how you can just grab a sandwich, maybe for lunch, not really think twice about it.
Right. It's such a staple.
But what if I told you that simple sandwich is actually part of a massive global market? We're talking billions of dollars.
Hmm.
And it's projected to, well, almost double in size over the next decade or so.
It's pretty incredible when you look at the scale.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're slicing into the global sandwich market. Pun definitely intended there.
Nice one.
We're looking at the outlook from 2021 right through to 2033. And our guide for this is a really detailed report from Cognitive Market Research. It's got some fascinating projections.
Yeah, it does. And our goal here, for you listening, isn't just to throw numbers around, though the numbers are impressive.
Right.
It's really about exploring what these trends tell us about, how people are living, how consumer habits are shifting globally. Think of it as a shortcut to understanding a surprisingly dynamic sector.
Exactly. So by the end of this, you'll get the sheer size, but also where the real hotspots are, the booming regions, and crucially, why. What's driving this global craving for sandwiches?
Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start with that big picture, the global view. In 2021, the market was valued at $9,538.88 million.
So over $9.5 billion.
Already huge.
Mm-hmm.
But look ahead to 2033, the projection is $18,730 million.
Wow.
That's nearly double. It works out to a compound annual growth rate, the CAGR, of about 5.78%, almost 5.8% year on year for that whole period.
And what's really striking there isn't just the final number, which is massive, obviously.
Yeah.
It's the consistency, a steady, almost 6% growth rate year after year for something as, basic as a sandwich. It tells you this isn't just a fad.
No, this is just something deeper, right? Like it's becoming even more embedded in how people eat worldwide.
Exactly. It's adapting, it's growing with our lifestyles.
So that brings us to the why. What's actually fueling this? What are the engines behind this consistent global growth?
Well, the report points to a few key drivers, and they all kind of interlink. First off, a big one is shifting consumer preferences. People want convenience.
Makes sense. Life's busy.
Totally. Time is short. A sandwich is quick. It's portable. You can customize it easily. It just fits into those rushed lunch breaks or even quick dinners.
Okay, what else?
Then there's urbanization. More people living in cities globally.
Right.
That often means smaller kitchens, maybe longer commutes, less time or space for elaborate cooking. Plus, cities usually have way more grab-and-go places, delivery options.
Making sandwiches super accessible.
Precisely. Which leads to the third point. Just this growing demand, generally, for convenient food. And that's not just in, say, North America or Europe. It's across developing economies, too.
So it's a global trend.
Absolutely. These factors together are creating this powerful tailwind for the whole market.
Okay, that provides some great context. Now, let's break it down by region, because the global average is one thing, but the picture gets even more interesting when you see where the growth is really, sizzling.
Yeah, the regional differences are fascinating.
Let's start with Asia Pacific. The report flags this as the undisputed growth leader. What are the numbers telling us there?
You're spot on. Asia Pacific is a real powerhouse. Its revenue was already nearly $2.8 billion back in 2021.
Okay.
By 2033, it's projected to hit over $5.6 billion.
Doubling again?
Pretty much. That's a CAGR of almost 6%, 5.97% to be exact, which is the highest regional rate.
And within APAC, any standouts?
Oh, yeah. China is huge, expected to reach over $2.2 billion by 2033, growing at over 6% annually.
Strong.
But India is growing even faster, a 6.7% UAGR, projected to hit $1.17 billion. And here's a little surprise. Southeast Asia actually has the highest individual CAGR within the region, almost 7%.
Wow, okay, so lots of potential there.
Definitely. And you've also got significant contributions from Japan, South Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, Australia. It's broad-based growth.
And this connects back to what you were saying about urbanization and convenience.
Absolutely. You've got rapid city growth, rising middle classes, more people adopting faster-paced lifestyles. The sandwich fits right in. It's adaptable, often affordable, works for busy workers.
Got it. Now, this next one really caught my eye. Africa. The report says it has the strongest regional KGR globally. That feels significant.
It is. It's really striking. Africa's market was just over $500 million, $524 million in 2021, projected to hit over $1.3 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR of 7.4%, the highest regional growth anywhere.
Incredible. Are there specific countries driving that?
Yes. Get this. South Africa has the highest growth rate in the entire report, over 8% CAGR. 8.07%. Its market is set to almost triple.
Wow.
And Nigeria is right behind it, almost at 8% CAGR2, 7.9%, also nearly tripling its market value.
So what's happening there? Beyond the general trends, any unique factors in Africa?
That's the big question, isn't it? It's likely a combination. You have rapid economic development in many areas, a very young, growing population, increasing exposure to global food trends through media and travel. And the sandwich is just super flexible. It can be adapted to local tastes while still offering that convenience for people in expanding cities. It really shows how universal this convenience trend is becoming.
Fascinating stuff. Okay, let's move to another region showing strong growth, the Middle East.
Right. The Middle East is also posting some solid numbers. It started at over $760 million in 2021, and it's projected to reach nearly $1.6 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR of over 6.3%.
Pretty strong. Any particular hotspots there?
Yeah, you see high KRs reflecting that dynamism. The UAE is growing at almost 6.9%, Saudi Arabia around 6.8%, Qatar over 6.4%.
And the drivers are similar. Urbanization, changing habits.
Seems like it.
Huh.
We've got significant urbanization, large expat populations who bring diverse food habits, rising disposable incomes, and just evolving tastes leaning towards quick, accessible meals. The food service sector there is booming.
Makes sense. Okay, let's hop over to North America. Often seen as the home of convenience food. What are the numbers saying there? Is it still growing strongly, or is it more mature?
It's definitely a mature market, but still growing. The value is nearly $2.3 billion in 2021,
Right.
projected to reach over $4.2 billion by 2033. So still significant growth with a CAGR of about 5.4%.
Okay, almost keeping pace with the global average.
Pretty much. Now, within North America, the U.S. is the biggest single market, expected to hit almost $2 billion by 2033, but its growth rate is slightly lower, around 5% CAGR.
Interesting.
What's really interesting is Canada. It shows much stronger growth, almost 6.5% CAGR, noticeably higher than the U.S.
Huh. Any idea why?
The report doesn't specify, but it could be different market saturation levels, maybe different consumer trends in fast casual, or perhaps more innovation happening there. Mexico shows more modest growth, around 4% CAGR.
So even within a region like North America, you see these variations.
Exactly. Even established markets aren't uniform. The sandwich keeps finding ways to grow.
All right, let's cross the Atlantic to Europe. How's the sandwich faring there?
Europe shows steady, solid expansion. It started at about $1.8 billion in 2021, projected to grow to over $3.4 billion by 2033. That's a CAGR of about 5.6%, very much in line with the global picture.
Who are the leaders in Europe?
Germany is the largest market, projected to hit almost $900 million, growing at a healthy 6% CAGR. The UK also shows strong growth, interestingly, over 6.3% CAGR.
So even with its long history of sandwiches, the UK market is still expanding fast.
Seems so. France is solid too, around 5% CAGR.
Any contrast within Europe?
Yeah, it's not all the same. Sweden, for example, has the lowest CAGR in the report for Europe, just under 4%. It shows those market nuances, maybe stronger adherence to traditional lunch habits or just different market dynamics. But overall, Europe is a blend of its traditional food culture, increasingly embracing convenience. You also have Italy, Russia, Spain, Switzerland, others contributing steadily.
Okay, steady growth there. Our final regional stop, South America. What's the picture down there?
South America shows diverse patterns. The overall region started at over $1.3 billion in 2021,
Right.
and it's projected to reach over $2.4 billion by 2033. Growing at just over 5.1% CAGR.
So slightly below the global average, but still growing.
Yes. Brazil is the regional leader in terms of market size, projected to hit over $1.1 billion, growing at about 5% CAGR, very close to the regional average.
Okay.
But here's something really interesting. The category labeled Rest of South America.
Ah, okay.
It shows an incredibly impressive growth rate, over 8% CAGR.
Wow. So higher than even Africa's average regional growth.
Just about, yeah. It suggests huge potential in maybe smaller markets or less represented areas within the continent where this convenience trend is really catching fire now.
That's fascinating. It points to maybe untapped markets.
Exactly. You also have Argentina, Colombia, Peru, Chile all contributing, but with varying growth rates. It really underscores that even within one continent, the sandwich story plays out differently country by country.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot of ground, literally toured the world of sandwiches. Let's try and pull this all together. What's the big takeaway?
Well, the sheer scale and consistency of the growth is number one. We're looking at a market nearly doubling in about a decade.
Driven by those core themes. Convenience, urbanization, changing lifestyles.
Precisely. And what's illuminating is seeing where that growth is strongest. You have these emerging economies in Asia Pacific, Africa, the Middle East, really powering ahead, often with KGRs well above the global average.
Compared to the more mature but still growing markets like North America and Europe.
Right. And then you have those surprising outliers, South Africa, Southeast Asia, the rest of South America, showing explosive growth. It tells you the sandwich is incredibly adaptable.
It really does. It makes you think this humble food item, it's actually a kind of economic indicator, isn't it? Reflecting these huge societal shifts towards speed and efficiency.
I think that's a great way to put it. It's a solution for a fast-paced world. And this deep dive really shows that fast food isn't just one thing. The sandwich is a major, major player, constantly evolving.
Yeah, it's clearly a global phenomenon. So the key message seems to be the sandwich market is huge, it's growing significantly everywhere, and it's projected to become an almost $19 billion industry by 2033.
Driven by that universal need for food that fits our busy lives.
Right. It's an economic powerhouse hiding in plain sight, really.
And understanding these dynamics, it helps us see the bigger picture of global consumer trends, how economies are developing, how cultures adapt. It's more than just lunch.
Absolutely. So thinking about that adaptability and future growth, we'll leave you with this thought to chew on. Given these massive projections and how the sandwich keeps evolving, what new forms, what new flavors, maybe even new functions could the sandwich take on in the next 10 years to keep capturing our attention globally? And how might that continued evolution ripple through local food cultures around the world?
That's a great question to ponder. Lots to think about.
Definitely something to consider until our next deep dive.